In China, there's a special Chinese subgroups where their ancestors kept migrating southwards in the chaos of war. During their migrations, a new unique language and culture is formed, and these are the Hakka people. The Hakka can be found in China and even the entire of the world, and their dialects are from all kinds of variants. There is a strange phenomenon. People who call themselves Hakka people mutually cannot understand each other's language, yet they still insist that they are the authentic Hakka people. Are there true Hakka and also fake Hakka? How did Hakka land in Indonesia, Malaysia, and the rest of the world? Hi, my name is Evan and welcome to Fearless Passport. Me, myself, is a Hakka people, and right before this pandemic, I was working in Indonesia and I got a privilege to speak to several Chinese Indonesian, Tionghoa Indonesians of Hakka descent. And note, especially in the language itself, there is a lot of differences, and at the end, we end up speaking Bahasa Indonesia because we couldn't understand each other in Hakka. So today, let us discuss the origins and also history of Hakka from China to Southeast Asia, especially in Indonesia and Malaysia itself. And first, as usual, a little bit of the history of Hakka ancestry. The origins of Hakkas can be traced as the northern and central Han people from the Yellow River regions, which is in today's Henan and Hubei in today's geographical locations. Due to instabilities and wars in northern China centuries ago, this group of northern and central Han Chinese migrated into the hilly areas of southeast China during the Yuan and also Ming dynasties. At that time, the name of Hakka has yet to be existed, and this group of people retain their language, customs, and traditions while moving to the new place, but they are still authentic Han Chinese. So how did the subgroup end up with the name of Hakka? This group of people came to Fujian and Canton about 400 years later than the first migrants Hokkiens and also the Cantonese. As latecomers, they are known as Keren, which means visitors, and later on Keren also evolved to Kejiaren, which means guest family or guest people that suggests they are not the locals but migrated from other places. The Hakka is always migrating. Due to the wars and in seek for a peaceful life, part of the subgroup continues their migrations to further south of China to reach current Meizhou, Neizhou, and also Huizhou of Guangdong. And at that time, the household registers only allow one host. That is why the migrants were all registered as a guest household, which is known as Kehu. And since then, the name of Hakka came into the being. In Hakka dialect, we call the Hakka people as Hakkangin. Therefore, unlike other Han Chinese subgroups, the Hakkas are not named after geographical regions. Unlike the Hokkiens and Fuchao people who are named after their province, Hakka are named based on the centuries long of migrations from the north to the south and later on spread to the rest of the world, especially in Southeast Asia. And as all the Hakkas are immigrants in the first place, they are naturally very hardworking person, very frugal, resilient, reserved, high survival skills, and are able to tolerate two different environments. The fourth and fifth migrations of Hakka people respectively took place in the late Ming and Qing dynasties. And similar to other Chinese subgroups, the Hakka people travel across the sea to Nanyang, as mentioned in my previous video over here, or here, to seek for a better living. Migrations of Hakka people to Indonesia happened in several waves, whereby the first wave landed in Riau Islands such as Bangka Islands and Belitung as tin miners, and the later waves occupied Borneo, Jakarta, Surabaya, Bandung, and also Medan. The number of Hakka is overall very much less than the Hokkien. In areas predominated by the Hokkien, the Hakka people are sometimes known as Kek people, and their roles in Indonesia are mostly traders, merchants, and also laborers in major cities. In Jakarta, especially Glodok area, whereby there's a lot of Chinese, you'll see rows of traditional Chinese medicine shops, where it is hardly be seen in Malaysia right now, but those traditional Chinese medicines are operated by Indonesian Hakka people. And in Malaysia, Hakka people form the second largest subgroups of ethnic Chinese populations, especially in the central regions such as Negeri Sembilan, Kuala Lumpur, and Ipoh Perak. The Hakka are usually mountain and hatch people. They are mostly hill farmers from the northeast Guangdong and various southern China. And in the old times, the Hakkas would engage in agriculture, forest clearance, mining, as well as metalworking. When times are better, Hakka were predominantly in small business such as kedai renjit, which is a small grocery shops, pawn shops, and also trading. Large numbers of Hakka can be found in Borneo, especially Kuching and Miri in Sarawak, where pepper plantations are mostly dominated by Hakka people. And in Sabah itself, almost half of the Chinese are Hakka descendants, to the extent that Chinese of other subgroups who migrated to Sabah usually have to learn the Hakka language. Hakka language is a strange language. Although we all claim that we are Hakkamin, unless we are from the similar variant. If not, it's not surprising that we couldn't understand each other mutually, or very difficult to understand what we are talking about. But we all believe that our language is the authentic Hakka language. Hakka variant differs from geographical locations, and in Malaysia, the dominant Hakka clans are generally from Guangdong province, and some of the better known clans are Malaysian Hakka, Por Hak, Shanghainese Hakka, Hor Por Hak, Hokkien Hakka, Fuzhou Hakka, Simchun Hakka, Hoilokfeng Hakka, and etc. There's so many different kinds of variants. And it is believed that the Hakka dialects from the May County or the Malaysian Hakka is the standard pronunciations of Hakka language, because Meizhou, May County, is from the northeast of Guangdong. It's a place where many Hakka people settled down after their southbound migrations. When I was in Indonesia, people would say, udah jam berapa masih belum lagi hongsin? Hongsin in Hakka means hongsin, wake up. Masih belum hongsin, it means not yet wake up. And the Hakka vocab has blended into the day-to-day conversations with the similar Bahasa Indonesia intonation. Another one is called lok sui. Lok sui in Hakka means lok sui, it means raining. In my family, my mother is a Hor Por Hak. My father, unsure of his origins, he is a Hakka, but we are not sure which variant he is. Could be from Por Hak, which is from the Borneo Island. For example, dirty. In my mother's side, we call it latat, but my father's side would be loso. So let me have a disclaimer here, because there is so many different variants of Hakka. The way that I speak Hakka might not be the same as how other people speak Hakka or how Indonesians speak Hakka. So here's my versions of Hor Por Hak versus other variants. The first one is Ni Hao, hello, Ni Hao Mao.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Ni hao mo.
Hello, ni hao mo.
I understand. Ngai Min Pak.
Ngai ti.
Ngai Phun Min.
Ngai min pa.
Ngai min pak.
I don't understand. Ngai Min Pak.
Ngai ing ti.
Ngai Phun Min.
Ngai min pa.
Ngai min pak.
I don't know. Ngai Ti or Ngai Ti Dao.
Ngai mui ti.
Ngai Ti.
Ngai ti.
Ngai ti wo.
I can't speak Hakka. Ngam hiao gong Hakka wa.
Ngai ing hiểu gong Hakka.
Ngai hiểu gong Hakka boy.
Ngai moi gong Hakka wa.
Ngai hiểu gong Hakka wa.
Have you eaten? 你食飽未未？
Xích bầu mong.
Xích bảo mang.
Đi xích bầu leo màn.
食飽了嗎？
Have a nice meal. ประมาณสิ
Man man xích.
Man man xích.
Man man xích.
慢慢食。
Please speak more slowly. 你講慢啲得冇？
Man man nói gong.
Man man gong.
Gong man ni chê chê.
做得講慢啲。麼？
What's your name? 你姓乜雞？哦，你喊乜雞名？
Nhi ấn mày miang.
Ni mày miang.
Nhi heng mày si miang.
你係乜嘅名？
Thank you. 多謝，感謝。Or the younger generation would just say thank you.
Cầm chả.
Cảm trả.
Tô chả.
唔該。
I love you. 我愛你。
Ngai ơi nhi.
Ngai oi ni.
Ai oi nhi.
我愛你。
Where do you want to go? 你愛去哪位？
Nhi ơi hi bui.
Oi hi à bui.
Nhi oi khi nai gai.
你愛去哪裡？
That is a Hakka saying. 有陽光的地方就有華人，有華人的地方就有客家人 which literally means wherever there's sunshine, there are Chinese, and wherever there are Chinese, there are Hakka. Di mana ada matahari, di mana ada orang Cina. Di mana ada orang Cina-nya, di mana ada orang Hakka. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye! You know, many of you are from Hokkien descendants. Because me myself is a Hakka, so I would like to start introducing Hakka first. I'll do another video like this about Hokkien next time. And if you are Hakka, let me know which variant you are and how do you speak, how do you speak your day-to-day Hakka, especially in the several examples that we demonstrated just now. So see you next time, see you in the next video. Bye!